Hi, and welcome back to Tundra Sounds. So, today we are going to take a look at how we can create more dynamic sounds. And by dynamic sounds, I'm not talking about the variation between loud and quiet and everything between. I'm talking about more of the texture, the character of the sound, because that's how we perceive loudness usually. So basically, when we are hitting the pad very softly, the sound will be more muffled. The cutoff will kind of strangle the sound in a way. When we hit the pad harder, then it will be more open in the filter. The frequency spectrum will be bigger, and the sound it will be more textured. It will have more layers of stuff happening to it. So the variation between careful hitting of the pad and kind of being an asshole to the pad will do changes to the sound. So that's what I'm talking about when we're talking about dynamic sounds. The perception of dynamics is the most important. Okay, I have loaded a sawtooth. I will shave off some of the upper frequencies, and then I will go to the amp envelope. To make sure that I don't get a clicky beginning of the sound, I introduce a little bit slower attack. And I will make sure that if we put 3 and 57 together, it's 60 in the length of the sound. So yeah, and the amount will stay at 127. And the good thing about that is when we do changes to the frequency, the character of the sound, it will be easier to hear it when it stays at the overall same level, no matter how hard or gently we hit the pad. So let's go to low pass envelope here, and instead of using the amount here, we will use the velocity amount, and that's being controlled by how hard we hit the pad. I want it to be 60 when we put 30 and 30 together. Yeah, something like that. And velocity amount. Let's listen to this. Nothing. Now we hear some changes. Okay, so you will hear that the changes will happen when I hit it harder or gentler. So if I copy this one to this one, okay, let's try to do something more. I will go to oscillator 1, and I will use the key follow here and 16 tunings. So, and I will use 16 in quantize and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4 them. Okay, that's the cheesiest shit I've ever done. No, kidding. Okay, so let's do more changes to this sound. So in the upper register here, it's almost easier to hear the changes because it sounds more brassy. So basically you could create a brass instrument with your sawtooth if you want to. But let's go a little bit deeper when it comes to doing subtle changes to the dynamic sound experience. We will listen to it in a deeper pitch, deeper tuning, maybe here. And we will do something to the resonance as well. As you can hear, when I'm using the 4-pole and turning the resonance knob, almost 12 o'clock, it starts self-oscillating. And it can be a little bit cool to have the sound the filter self oscillating for a tiny period of time. Let's turn it back again and go to the aux envelope. And let's see, aux envelope and resonance. Instead of using the knob here, I want to use aux envelope to open it exactly when I want it to be opened. So let's see, resonance. Okay, so if I introduce a little bit of latency in the middle of the sound, and let's see, a little bit of attack, I think, and maybe not so much decay. Let's take a listen to this. Okay, we haven't done anything to the velocity amount yet, so let's see. As you can hear, the abrupt ending of that resonance thingy is because I didn't do anything to the decay of the sound. So let's go back here. As you can see, it's a very steep decay, so we can introduce some decay here, but I don't want it to last for too long. I just want it to be a little bit of little detail in the sound. Okay, a little bit more in velocity amount. Seriously. Maybe we should not delay it that much. Okay. Oh, seriously, I could hear some nasty stuff there. Okay, that was a little bit cool because the delay is at 0 now, so it kind of sounds a little bit bubbly in a way. It begins at a very high amount, huge amount, and it's a not that steep decay, but it's steep enough to get that bubbly. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's copy this sound. Let's see. Over there. Sorry. No. That one to there. Okay. Okay, and let's go to a higher octave. Okay. Okay, so as you could hear, something happens when we hit it harder. The overall level is the same, but it's definitely something happening there. Maybe we could even add some noise. I actually enjoy this thing here. If we go to oscillator 3 here, and let's see, I will add some noise to the bass. No, to the melody thingy. Okay, so let's go to sound here and oscillator 3. The cool thing about the resonant 4K noise is that we can actually make it move together with the notes. Even though they are not tuned, they will sound kind of brighter or duller depending on how high the pitch is, or yeah, the key is. So let's listen to this. But the cool thing is when we remove the level here and instead we go to the aux 2, maybe we could also use the mod path, but I will use the aux envelope here, and I will go to oscillator 3 level, and maybe no delay now, and velocity amount, and we will have to use some decay here so that we can actually hear the sound. Okay, so and so okay, we can use the LFO to do something to the noise. So okay, let's take a look at this. Oscillator 3, oscillator 3 level, make it sound almost like a rattlesnake. Well, not exactly, but okay. Okay, so yeah, now you can create sounds that are more dynamic. Yeah, so that's just some of the ways that you can actually create more dynamic sounds. You can always use the amp envelope to create a variation in the loudness of the sound. I purposely didn't do that because I wanted you to be able to hear the difference in character instead of loudness. So if you want to have even more dynamic sounds, of course you should use the loudness variations as well, and use all of the envelopes, use the mod paths. There's so many ways to create more dynamic sounds. I was just trying to show you one way or a few ways. And to be honest, I don't think the sound ended up that good, but I have created other sounds that I'm more satisfied with. Use your ear. Don't always just follow the formula, because the formula isn't necessarily for you. So if you have a formula, you should tell us in the comment section. Yeah, maybe you don't agree, or maybe you have a few questions. Better like, subscribe, and have a conversation in the comment section. Yeah. See you next time. Bye.